Neal. Thank y'all for being here. Quality win over Georgia Southern on homecoming gets us to 6-2 and 3-1 overall. And on a short week, so I'm going to be quick wrapping that game up. Special teams, first of all, I thought the negative on special teams is our kickoff coverage. We've been one of the top teams in the country over the last 3 years on kickoff coverage. But Saturday was not our best day. We didn't kick the ball particularly well. We didn't cover. Way too many missed tackles in the first half on that team. The positives are we had 0 punt return yardage. We had a 32-yard punt return by Rooker, who we put in as the starting punt returner this week, and he'll be that moving forward. And we had good operations on field goal and on punt in inclement weather, so that was a positive. Defensively, the negatives first. I thought we started slow, and we didn't finish particularly well in the fourth quarter. And really the second week in a row, Georgia State and Georgia Southern, where our backups got in the game, our 2s and our 3s played the whole fourth quarter defensively, and in both games gave up a touchdown. So that was disappointing, and we've got to get those guys better because we'll be dependent on them as we move forward as a program. I thought we did a poor job getting off the field also. Way too many third and fourth down conversions. We dropped an interception, had 2 fumbles that were on the ground that we weren't able to come up with. The positives are I thought we played really well in the second and third quarter. When we put the game away in the second and third quarters, the defense came and got out and did a better job stopping the run, particularly. And really the difference was on first down. Only allowed 3.7 yards per carry and only 3 explosive plays. And that was a difficult game defensively just because they were so much different in that game than they were on anything they had shown. But I thought our guys and our coaches adjusted well after the first series of the game. Offensively, the negatives, we had 4 drops. We've got to have more attention to detail in the passing game. The positives, we had 7.7 yards per play, had the most explosive plays we've had all year. We're perfect in the red zone, which has been a point of emphasis over the last couple of weeks. And we had 0 sacks. I thought we protected the passer well. Players of the week this week, special teams player of the week is Juwan McDowell, somebody that has really played well in special teams. He's a starter on 3 of them. Did a great job at the gunner. One of the main reasons our punt team has not allowed very many punt return yards the last 3 weeks. Had a big block on Rooker's punt return as well. Defensively, Sedarius Rooker, highest graded, was most productive, directed us, really set the tone early in the game with his physicality. He had a couple hits on the quarterback, and I thought that really set the tone for the game. Offensively, Josh Anderson had his best game of his career, 15 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Really proud for him, and that was really good to see. Our O-lineman of the week was Deontay Crumity. Played his best game of his career. A kid that started 3 years here, came out and communicated well. Did a great job in pass pro, but also got movement. Georgia Southern moved and slanted their front. He did a good job cleaning that up. And communication overall was critical, and I was proud of him. Our scout team players, the special teams, was Abdul McKeeby, and I think that's the second or third week that we've given him that in the games we've won. He does a great job from Hazel Green. Defensively, Trayvon Mathis, a defensive lineman that we're redshirting this year, somebody that we feel like has a lot of potential. He had a great week for us last week. And then offensively, Sawyer Smith. Sawyer's we're attempting to redshirt him, and he directed the option attack last week and did a great job for our defense. Last 2 awards, Nathan Harris Service Award goes to Terrence Dunlap, true freshman. Really proud of him. Has gotten himself out in the community a tremendous amount in his short time here. Always has a smile on his face and really a good representation for our program. And then last is our Corey McCullers Spirit Award, and that goes to the guy that's the best on the sideline. And I thought overall our sideline was the best it's been in 2 years. Through bad weather, through rain, through all of that, I thought they really generated a lot of energy on our sideline. So they are being commended for that. But that is the Corey McCullers Award goes to Amari Vaughns. So that's wrapping up the Georgia Southern game. Again, good win. Been a long time since we'd been beaten Georgia Southern, 1992, and so it's good to get that off our chest. Flipping the page over to Idaho, and Thursday night game, national television.
and Idaho's playing their best football of the year. Well coached by Paul Petrino and his staff. I got a lot of respect for what they do, and they had a great year last year. I think that was kind of got lost a little bit, but they had a tremendous year and really probably had the best offensive performance of any college football team in a bowl game last year. I'll start offensively. They're very good schematically. I think Paul does a great job. He calls the plays there, keeps people off balance, a lot of different looks. He and Vic are familiar with each other. They were both on the same staff. Coach Petrino was the offensive coordinator, and Vic was the defense coordinator at Illinois. So they're familiar with each other. The quarterback is tremendous. Matt Linehan is an NFL player. I think he's getting better. As I was telling somebody earlier, he's throwing the ball so much better under pressure than he has at any point of his career. The running back, Duckworth, is a physical kid that gets downhill, does a good job on kickoff return as well, and they've got a couple of receivers that have really good numbers. Defensively, I think that's where they've made their biggest improvement over the last 2 years. I think the Missouri game, you just throw that out, it was an aberration of how they've played the rest of the season. No conference team in regulation has scored more than 23 points against them. They're very good on the edge. Two defensive end, number 97 from Akeem Coleman, who played at East Mississippi Junior College, and then Leonard Hayeswood. Both those defensive ends, they've done a great job getting pressure on the quarterback this year and setting the edge for their defense. Two linebackers that I think are plus players, all league type players in our league. They're Mike linebacker Tony Lashley, who's their leading tackler, and then Caden Ellis, who's probably one of the most versatile players in our league. They use him anywhere from nickel to defensive end. On special teams, really good punter. Coffey, who's a redshirt freshman. They had a kid that was all conference 3 years in a row that's graduated and moved on. This Cade Coffey has jumped in and really continued what they were doing in their punting and kicking game. He handles all those duties. They're really aggressive on the punt return. They've done a good job of pressuring opposing punters, and they've done a solid job in the return game as well. So really well coached on that unit. Key game for us. I don't think we can. I don't want to underestimate that. This is a key game for us. It's a critical game for us. We need to have a great showing with our home crowd here. I know we're doing a lot of things from a promotion standpoint. We're going to have a fall festival for all the kids. It is a late kick. But I know our students are fired up about that. And I expect us to have a great atmosphere. I know the weather's going to be nice, and we need to put our best foot forward. And I encourage everyone to come out and support us on Thursday night, and we fully expect to play one of our better games of the year. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
With the short week, what's the plan for incorporating rest with each guy?
Yeah, well, the way the season's set up, we're relatively healthy and fresh for this point of the season. We had our toughest stretch of games as far as travel and all those type things, the first 5, and then we from LSU through the Georgia State game, we didn't play a whole lot of football, so there was a lot of time to rest and recovery. And then the rest of our season doesn't set up real demanding either as far as travel and playing back-to-back games and so on. So this is a tough turnaround when you go from Saturday to Thursday. As a football coach, not real fired up about it just because it gets you out of your routine and it's a short turnaround. As somebody that has to promote the university, and I think these games are great. It's great for Troy University. It's great for our athletic department. It's great for our community. So Idaho's doing the same thing. They have to travel. We practiced last night. It's usually our day off. We practiced last night. We'll practice. This will be our main work day of the week today. We'll do a Tuesday, Wednesday type practice today, and we'll be in Shells. And then we'll do a normal Thursday practice tomorrow, normal Friday practice on Wednesday, and get ready to play on Thursday night.
We've talked about it a couple times the last few years now, the attention back on this program, a late night kick on national TV. How do you calm the nerves of your players going out there once again?
I'm not going to talk about it one single time this week. Honestly, that's I probably built that last game up. I was worried about us coming and having a letdown emotionally coming off the LSU game during our last midweek game. So I talked about the importance of playing on national television, building your brand and all that stuff. And this week I won't address it at all. Bottom line, we're going to suit up and play it Thursday at 8:15, whether there's 30,000 or nobody here, whether it's on ESPN3, ESPN2, ESPNU, whatever it is. So not going to talk about it. We're just going to get ready to play, worry about being 1-0. The key for us this week is just focusing. We got to focus at the task at hand, make sure we're preparing leading up to that kick.
John Johnson, of course, had an impact Saturday. Last year he had an impact against Idaho. It there any expectation that maybe this could be his time to really, get another good run at a wide receiver?
Yeah, well, he's got us going the last 2 weeks, and he's a senior, and the guy's played a lot of football here. He had a huge reception against Georgia State that got us going. Had the great touchdown pass last week on the first drive that kind of got us going and really set us up to be in control of that game throughout. So he keeps getting better. His playing time is going to increase because he's been productive. But he did. He had a good game against them last year. Hopefully he'll do the same this week.
The defense is 11th against the rush, 21st overall. When y'all took over, nowhere close to those numbers. How has this defense been built over the last 3 years?
Well, I think it's from a culture standpoint, first and foremost. If you look at every top program in the country or top program in each conference, it comes down to you've got to be able to play great defense, because even as an offensive coach, I understand there's going to be some ups and downs in offensive football just because so many things have to go right for you to have a successful play. And I think it's about a mentality. Schematically, Coach Vic and our defensive staff has done a good job. Our kids have bought into what we're doing. I think we've recruited well on that side of the ball particularly, and we've been productive. And our guys are playing with a lot of confidence, and so they've got a new challenge. If you think about it, we've gone 3 weeks now, and we've got different style of offenses each week. We went from a spread pass first team, Georgia State, went to a triple option, even the old flex bone triple option under center, and now we're at a pro style attack that where Coach Petrino gives you multiple looks. So our defensive staff, our defensive players have responded each and every week, and I fully expect them to do that this week as well.
I know you're very high on the running backs on the depth chart, but what does it say about this offense that you put up 2 of your most impressive performances without Jordan Chuck out there?
Well, I don't think it's a knock on Jordan at all. I think it's what it is I think we're handling our business better through the week. We're practicing better. We're preparing better. If you look at our body of work, the 8 games we've played so far, we've really played pretty good offense in 6 of those. The difference is our scoring offense is down, and part of that's because we haven't scored any special teams. We haven't necessarily played on a short field like we did a lot last year. We haven't scored any defensive, or we scored 1 defense touchdown. Blaze scored the defense touchdown, but we scored several of those last year. So our scoring offense is down. Our overall offense isn't down. If you look at the 6 games, we just played 2 really poor games, in the South Alabama game being the worst. But we're getting better, and that's the way it should be. And we got to continue to progress offensively. We need to throw the ball better in this game than we did last week. I think the weather was part of it.
Any mention of the last trip Idaho had here? Brutal offensively game, and they had difficult circumstances.
Yeah, we missed a field goal right there on homecoming. It bangs off the right upright down here in the closed in. I remember it. The kids that are here know. Each team's different, Jeremy. Each team's so different. Last year's team, our 2016, was really driven and was really took offense to how that 15 season went. And I could bring those type of games up, and that would really, whether it was App State, we went through that deal where we had the Redemption Road, and we went 5-1 on that Redemption Road last year. Only loss being to Georgia Southern was the only repeated loss we had, and that 16 team really drove off that, and we could bring that up and talk about it, and that really motivated them. This team's not necessarily motivated by the same things. So what we've done is really all those motivational tactics and stuff, I've kicked that to the curb. I got 1-0. That's it. 1-0. We don't really talk about anything else. 1-0 this week, and then moving on. So we don't talk about the last game. We don't talk about last year, 2 years ago. Hey, 1-0. Let's get better today.
Thanks,
All right, thank y'all.